Hi everybody, Sanibonani. Welcome to my channel. Happy Sunday. Igama lami Ntando Mdletshe, and on this channel siyasibuka ama-reality shows ethala Mzansi bese sizala sizokwenza ama-reviews, ama-recaps. Siyaphinda-ke futhi sikhulume ngama-celebrities kanye nama-YouTubers ethu ala eMzansi. If it's your first time joining me today, you know what to do. You know what to do. There's a subscribe button la ngezansi. Guys, today we're going to talk about the case ka Arthur Mafokate. Listen, kuyahlekwa noma kufiwe, kuyahlekwa noma kufiwe because listen, corruption really is a serious thing, is a serious issue in South Africa, and I think it affects our communities, it affects our economy because when funds that are supposed to go into really developing the lives of black people or just people in general in South Africa, when those funds are being misappropriated and they go to these individuals, they don't really need this money and also they misappropriate this money. It really is sad, you guys, because then whatever it is that this money was supposed to do doesn't do it. And obviously, the SIU has started investigating a lot of these famous people that we thought were very good with their money because some of them are not really that active or working that much anymore in the entertainment space, but yet they have been able to maintain a certain level or a certain lifestyle. And now it's coming out that they have actually uh, have had access to these funds that are supposed to go into developing our communities. So Adam Mafokate is one of those people that has been named to be investigated. Okay, obviously, you guys, we have to wait until the investigation is concluded. But we just know that he's one of those people that is being that are being investigated because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Okay. Now, unlike other people, Arthur thought that it would be a good idea because other people have been silent about it. Even people that have responded, like Uteri Petso responded and just did a post on her Instagram, I think it was. But for the most part, most of them haven't really done interviews, or if they have, I haven't seen them. So for him, he just thought that it would be a good idea for him to go and do all of these interviews and let people know that he is innocent, let people know that he never received any of this money that people are saying that he received. But honestly, I think that was the worst decision that he made, honestly. In this one interview, I actually think that the people that did this interview and actually ended up posting this particular part of the interview really don't like who Arthur. They don't. They really don't because it's really, really bad. There's no way you can watch that clip and think you could see Arthur is innocent. He really didn't take this money. When you watch the clip, you just be like, oh my God, he really did because the acting skills on there, he's not even good that he's not even that good at acting, you guys. But here is the clip. Maybe you can judge for yourself as to I mean, what you think about it? I just feel like it's very funny. I feel bad laughing at it because obviously this is somebody that is trying to defend himself against, something and the accusations that are very serious. But I really think that he could have. It would have been better for him to just remain silent and wait for the investigations to be concluded, and then do whatever it is that he needs to do after that. He could defend himself in court. He did not need to go to the media to defend himself. And there's actually two interviews that really, really went bad for him. So here is the first one.
So from the last week, what has shocked you the most, which has come out of the media, which wasn't factually true?
People have been saying ukuthi it's very, very difficult for a man to cry, but it's even more difficult for a man to fake a cry. And basically, this is what we are seeing here. I mean, it's difficult enough to just cry when there are things, genuine things to cry about. So for you to have to pretend to cry, I think he really was having a hard time. But more than that, you guys, I think that the SIU,
At times they really do take advantage. And coming from
I think the
from
SIU really
their
needs to
perspective,
also have a look at this guy,
but they don't
the
understand
presenter,
the label of
because the fact that he can be so
label
serious about
presenter.
it
So
and try to defend Arthur.
largely, it's mostly
The fact
disheartening.
that he thinks, the
So many
journalist
roles
thinks that
that
Arthur
actually
might actually be
explain
crying for real. I think he
sometimes
also needs to
look
be
like
investigated.
are you listening? Are you able to answer the question?
Yeah, I,
I think it's the amount of lies.
anyway, you guys, that was the first clip from the interview that he did. Obviously, the full interview is here on YouTube if you want to watch all of it. The ridiculousness of the whole interview, you won't even believe it, honestly, you guys. And I think that the interview didn't do for him what the interviewer was supposed to do for him. It did the opposite. Honestly, I think he shouldn't have done the interviews. He should just stay at home and wait for the investigation to be concluded. But that wasn't it, guys. There's another SABC news interview that he did also that did not go well for him. So let's watch this one.
I don't know where those things are coming from. Obviously, they're coming from malicious people that we all know, even the journalists that are writing stories. They are so-called sources. They should be, revealing those sources so that at least you could call them and ask them as to why are they saying all these things about me? I don't know what they're talking about, and I've not received a cent yet. And it would also assist you if you had to call the NEC to find out if did Arthur's companies receive a cent or not. But as far as I'm concerned, I never got anything. My companies never got anything. So I don't know what they're talking about. It's just malicious rumors that are there to defame me and, slander me as an individual because, it's, I'm an easy target. Easy target. It's easy to get a front page using my name because if they were to write about any other person, it wouldn't have been front page stories, but they had to choose me.
I mean, you claim that some people within the ANAC are targeting you and seek to paint you as corrupt. But why would they do that? What do they have against you?
Where did I say that?
I mean, you claim that they are actually targeting you and seek to paint you as corrupt.
I'm saying, when did I say that?
But you just said
I'm
it.
sure you will have your sources.
You've just said,
Ooh,
a
guys.
short while
Yeah,
ago,
I.
that people are targeting you.
I didn't say
These
from the
reports,
NEC.
these reports are malicious and that people are targeting you.
Yes, but I didn't say people from the NEC. I said people.
Listen, you guys, it's funny how I have always thought of Arthur as an intelligent guy, but in these interviews, he doesn't sound very intelligent. Maybe it's the pressure of what is going on right now, and I don't know. Also, he says here that he is being targeted, and I feel like, but the journalists didn't come up with the story. The journalists didn't are not the ones investigating the misappropriation of funds. The SIU, they're the ones that are investigating, and the story came out because the SIU was investigating the story. So it's actually not one of those where journalists are coming up with the story. Let's say, for an example, they're saying that Arthur is cheating on his wife, or maybe Arthur is an alcoholic, or one of those stories where you feel like, yeah, possibly the journalist made it up. But this one is, there is an ongoing investigation by the SIU into the misappropriation of the NLC funds. But and he is one of the people that were named in the investigation. So it's, how are they targeting you when your name is there and you are being investigated? Anyway, you guys, like I said in the beginning, I don't think that he should have done these interviews. They're not a good idea. He doesn't do very well with them. I think the idea behind it was, let me go defend myself and see if I can gain the favor of the people that used to love me, and maybe I can get some people on my side. But it just didn't work that way. And I think he really needs to stop, because it's making him look even worse than he did. And also, guys, we have to remember that with Arthur, there's a lot of things that have come out about him. There was even a case of like an abuse case or GPV case with the artist Usisi, which he won in court, yes. But we also know that when you win a case like that in court, it does not mean that you did not do what you were being accused of doing. It just means that in court they couldn't prove it, beyond reasonable doubt. And so even now, thinking about that, it makes you think really deeply about whether either really is a good person, just a good human being, if he's doing all of these things. But we are not the judges. We do have the judges in courts that will end up making those decisions on whether they think that he's guilty or not, and we're going to have to wait for the judgment, or whatever it is, that if they end up in court, because right now it is an investigation, so we don't know what's going to happen. If they ever end up having to defend themselves in court, then we will have to wait for that. But for now, I guess we just have to get entertained with these interviews that he thinks are going to help him. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before Pumagona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Ntando kakhulu.